I'm not going to call LSU an elite team, but they're an elite program, and here's why. Number one, they're always going to have a good head coach because they can pay for it. Number two, they have great facilities and resources. And number three, they're going to get their fair share of 4- and 5-star recruits. And even if you don't think they're an elite program, I'll offer you this. They're always going to be one of the most relevant teams in the country. The most recent season, it wasn't a good year. The offense was wishy-washy, the defense was bad at times, the quarterback play was questionable at times, and you had the entire mess going on with the head coach, Ed Orgeron. When you think of an LSU football coach, at least when you're talking about personality-wise, Ed Orgeron's the guy. But when you're talking about actual coaching abilities, I'm not so sure. Last year was a bad time to be an LSU fan. But however, all of that might change going into next year because they just added a monster to their team. Whenever you're evaluating a great player, a lot of things you look for is speed, size, talent, work ethic, and the list goes on. And the 5-star recruit that LSU just added to their team, he has all of that and many more. The player that LSU just added to their roster is a flat-out beast, and he is the type of guy who has the talent to change an entire team. I'm not saying this is going to happen, so let me make it clear. But what I am saying is that he has the potential to be a Will Anderson type of player, but for LSU. If you don't know who Will Anderson is, he's one of the best players in the country and he plays for Alabama. I really and truly believe last year, I know Bryce Young won the Heisman and he was deserving of it, but Will Anderson was the best player in the country, no questions asked. If you watched any of Alabama's games and paid attention to Will Anderson and the defense, you know what I'm talking about. He elevated the play of others. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is what separates good players from great players. Whenever you have a good player, you know he's going to be fine, and you just hope sometimes he can be great. But whenever you have a great player on your team, not just in football, basketball, but every sport, he's going to make others around him better. The 5-star recruit, monster beast, whatever you want to call him, that LSU just added to their team, he has the potential to do that. I think I've hyped it up enough. We're going to talk all about it in this video real quick too. If you guys want to see a double upload, if we can get this video to 100 likes in 30 minutes, we'll double upload for the second straight day. Hope you guys enjoy. As always, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, do all nice stuff. Let's get into it. For those of you that don't know, Mr. Harold Perkins is a 5-star recruit out of the state of Texas, and he's roughly 6'2", 6'3", and 210 pounds. He's a linebacker, and that's what he's going to play at LSU, but this is how versatile he is. He also played running back in high school, and that should tell you a lot about this dude. Perkins is the definition of a football player. You could put him at almost any position and he would succeed. To put it in a better way, if you were playing backyard football, he would be your first overall pick because he can do everything. Why am I hyping it up so much and why did I call him a monster? Because if you saw his running back highlights, you would think he was a top running back in the country. If you were going to create your dream linebacker in a video game, you'd make him just like this guy. Why do I say that? Because not only is he physical, like duh, most linebackers should be, but he's also fast, and I think he can cover wide receivers if he needs to. That's what separates him from a lot of other linebackers, not just at the high school level, but the college level. Whenever you think of a linebacker and some of the more old school ones, you think of a guy who's big, strong, and physical, but they're not really that fast. With Harold Perkins, that's not the case, and I hope you understand this. I'm not sure if you would label him as fast, but he's quick. He's got that quick twitch ability that you see in a lot of basketball players whenever they do a jab step or have an explosive move. Maybe I've just fallen in love with this dude, but from what I've seen on the film, you can line him up anywhere on the field and he's going to be okay. I'm not too sure and sold on the fact that he's only going to play defense at LSU because I think he could be a great running back or tight end if they needed him. I could sit up here for hours and hours and rant and rave about his dude. There's just so many things to love about his game. Let's get a move on with our video. The bottom line, he signed with LSU. It's a great pickup. Taking a look at this tweet, and this is what I'm talking about. Somebody said, I don't know how you're going to be able to keep him off the field. And that's why I'm making this video. Unless something crazy happens where he gets hurt or has some problems off the field, I think this is a day one starter. And even if he's not a starter from the jump, this is definitely a guy that's going to play as soon as he gets there. This is what you want in a 5-star recruit, a guy that can get on campus and contribute right away. And to be honest, LSU's defense wasn't too all impressive last year and they need him. Oh yeah, I want to throw this in there before I forget. He wound up narrowing his options down to A&M, Florida, and LSU. He went with LSU, we know that, but what happened after was interesting, I guess you could say, because his family was burning the Texas A&M hat on Instagram Live. It doesn't look like Harold was burning the hat, but his family was. I kind of found that interesting. Let me know your thoughts down below. Let's talk about next year for LSU and what all this means. Their defense last year, I'm not saying they're the exact same, but I would compare it to Alabama's. At the beginning of the year, it was bad at times and it was really bad at times, but the later in the year, the last 4 to 5 games, they stepped up and they improved a lot. At the beginning of the year, they gave up 38 to UCLA. Terrible. At the midway point, they wound up giving 42 up to Kentucky, and then they also gave up 42 to Florida, but then after that, it started to get a little better. Their next 5 games, they gave up 31 to Ole Miss. I mean, that's not bad. That's a pretty good offense. They held Alabama, one of the best offenses in the country, to 20, Arkansas to 16, and A&M to 24. I do understand they gave up 42 in the bowl game, but a lot of LSU players weren't playing, and I'm not counting that. What you did in the first 6 games, I'm not going to hold against you. I'm really going to evaluate you on your last 6, and LSU's defense got better. A lot of guys on that defense were on the younger side, and now you're adding a 5-star recruit to go with them that can really play like a junior or senior. I just think it's a recipe for success. I could be completely wrong. The defense could go out there next year and wet the bed. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I would say the only question marks around LSU right now is the offense and the quarterback situation. Taking a look at next year's schedule, it's not a cakewalk and it's one of the hardest in the country. When you play in the SEC West, it's going to be hard every single year. The season isn't even close to starting, and I can list off 6 games that are going to be hard to win. Going down the list, we'll say Mississippi State or Auburn. Only one of them is going to be a hard one. So that's 1. Tennessee, we know it's going to be a battle. That's 2. Ole Miss is going to be hard. 3. Alabama is going to be hard. 4. Arkansas is going to be hard. 5. And A&M, of course, they're going to be a tough team to beat with all of the star power they've got in the recruiting nonsense going on. So right there, that is 6 games alone. You can just tell before the season has even started, they're going to be hard to win. Of course, we know it's hard to beat Alabama every single year. Arkansas, they're on the come up. A&M, they're on the come up. And so is Ole Miss and Tennessee. This isn't a favorable schedule, especially for a team that got a brand new head coach. One good thing we can take out of all of this is that Brian Kelly, he's doing a decent job right now. I mean, he got a 5-star recruit and maybe one of the best 5-star recruits in the country. This is big, and I think a lot of you also, you know it's big. Let me know your thoughts down below. But with all that being said, that's going to wrap up this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned something. If you're new to the channel, you know what to do. Not going to bore you. If you want to see a double upload, hit that like button. And as always, let's be great. I'm out, y'all. Peace.